Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Cryptoinsightuk here, bringing you back a Ripple XRP specific video. I'm going to keep this video as short as possible, but a lot is going on now within the XRP ecosystem. The Ripple lawsuit, with Ripple specifically expanding their business connections. I've written a little thread about it over on Twitter, saying right now I'm effing bullish on XRP. I've always believed that medium and long term is one of the best assets in the market, and I still believe that. I think it's going to have one of the biggest impacts in our financial system out of any crypto out there, if not the biggest. And I said, grab your coffee and let's see what's happening short term to be excited about. I'm going to quickly zoom through this and then I'm going to get into a few key things. First of all, XLS-20 went live on the 31st of October. XLS-20, for those of you who don't know, basically an adjustment to the XRP ledger to allow people to mint native NFTs on the XRP ledger. Let's see if this loads. If it doesn't, don't worry. We're up now. Yeah, so basically, there's a little article here written by David Schwartz over on dev.to/RippleDev. It's in my thread if you want to look at it. Just tells you what XLS-20 does and how it works in regards to NFTs. So probably worth a little read if you're super interested in the tech behind it. Then I talked about NFTs and what happened on other chains such as Solana when NFTs were introduced. They did over a 200x from November of 2020, I think it is. November of 21 all the way to November of 22. They went up 205 times in that period. So can something like this happen for XRP? Basically said, I don't know if we'll have the same sort of move, but we should hopefully see more volume on the network, and that maybe leads to maybe an increase in price. As well as this, obviously we've got Ripple's Creator Fund, and some communities to look out for are the XRPL Punks, Xspectre, and @Ragsy Art. I'm not affiliated with any of these people. They're just people I've had contact with in the past. I did do some work for XRPL Punks in November of last year, and I did a giveaway with Xspectre this year, and Ragsy Art, we had contact a while ago. We were going to get a podcast going, just like a one-off, get her on my podcast, but it never materialised because the time zones were all over the place and we're both super busy. And then also French clothing giant Balmain launched their NFT collection on the XRPL, or at least partnered with the XRPL. They launched their thread, and you can sign up to the waitlist on that, and I have, as well as Michael Jordan, who also said he's going to launch his NFTs on the XRP ledger. Sorry, I don't know why my words aren't coming out this morning. His NFTs on the XRP ledger. But Ripple seem really focused on carbon credits, specifically on the XRP ledger, maybe bringing in a different scope to the NFT world than a lot of people have seen. So far, it's only really been used for digital collectibles. They're trying to have real world use case for it, and I think carbon credits are a cool idea. I actually had a call with Carbon Land DAO maybe 6 months ago. I haven't heard from them since. They showed me their project. They were ready to roll out. Looked like a really cool concept. I don't know what's going on with them, and again, there's no affiliation. I just wanted to let you guys know we had a one-to-one probably about 6 months ago, and they showed me around their site and everything they were doing. I thought it was really interesting, and I can't discuss it because it was under NDA, but definitely something to keep your eye on if they're still about. Also, we've got Flare Networks coming for the XRP ledger, and I think Flare is going to be a huge project. I know that their launch has been delayed, but when this comes out, there's going to be actually a way to make passive income, both with XRP and from your Spark token. You can make passive income from your Spark token from your ledger, and the distribution opportunity is insane. So if you haven't read that thread about Flare, probably go and check that out. Visa are launching a wallet that's compatible for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Again, pretty interesting. At the same time, we've had a Q3 markets report from Ripple saying that Ripple holdings are now less than 50% of the total supply of XRP. Again, another push towards decentralization. The network itself is decentralized, with Ripple only owning 4% of the nodes. 4 nodes, which is I can't remember exactly the percentages. Don't want to lie to you guys. I think it might be 7, but I don't know. But for any consensus, you have to have 70% yeses on the XRP ledger, so they can only play a tiny role in swaying the votes one way or another. So that's how decentralized it is. Obviously, we have the Hinman emails and so much pressure on the SEC right now. And I thought it was just funny. Like I did clip Brad Gardenhouse's tweet out with Elon Musk replying, and obviously Keemstar's replied as well. But then I also replied saying me getting ready to go for a beer with the XRP community when the contents of the emails is released. And obviously it's Alan from The Hangover, and it seemed to get quite a lot of likes over on Twitter, so I thought that was quite funny. And that is true. I can't wait to have a beer with everybody when this pops off. The key dates to keep in mind are the 15th of November is the final date regarding the summary judgment. I think if I can remember correctly, obviously the links are there. We've had the initial filings, and now we've had replies to the initial filings, and then on the 15th of November, I think we get the replies from each side to each other's replies. So it's like they said they filed, then someone replied, and then you replied to what they said, and that's the final filings for the summary judgment. And then the judge can make a decision at any time after those filings are in. And then we're seeing Amicus briefs coming in left, right, and centre. 9 filings in the last 3 weeks, plus John Deaton's filing representing the 72,000 XRP holders who are participating in this case. So TapJets and Spend the Bits filed talking about XRP and their day-to-day usage. And then further filings, big ones, guys. We've had one from Coinbase, Valhill Capital, Blockchain Association, Digital Chamber of Commerce, Crypto Council. I don't know who they are off the top of my head. I've forgotten. They are Crypto Council for Innovation. And is that it? And Investor Choice Advocates Network, ICANN, all supporting that the XRP is not a security. And then John Deaton has written an absolute banger of an Amicus brief here. Didn't think anything less would come from him. And there's a good thread here over on Crypto Law. Definitely go and check this out. He talks about a lot of different things. I can't really get into all these because there's so much to literally go on about. And Jeremy Hogan's got a video that's just come out. I'm going to get into that. He'll probably condense the information more for me. There's so much going on here. So essentially John Deaton talks about how the sales of XRP could be comparable to the actual oranges in the Howey test, and there's no promise of profit on the actual oranges. The promise of profit comes from the sale of the contract tied to the sale of the oranges, not the oranges themselves. So it's kind of hard to explain, and I don't think I can word it very well. But essentially what we're looking for is, are we going to see a settlement, which I think is possible. We haven't seen anything come from the SEC recently, and I would actually, that's just reminded me, I would actually like to have a little look at, let's see if we can get James Fillan's page open. If you want to go and check out Digital Perspectives as well, he's retweeted a few cool parts from John Deaton's Amicus brief. So we're going to go to James Fillan, because he tweeted something yesterday I want you guys to be aware of. He said, below is a transcript. Okay, so we've got something from, it's just from the hearing. He said, folks, don't be surprised if tomorrow I'm posting a motion by the SEC asking for additional pages and time to respond to all these Amicus briefs. It's coming. So he thinks there's going to be information come in, or like another delay request coming from the SEC regarding the Amicus briefs. There's potential there, guys, but with all these Amicus briefs mounted up on the SEC, it's not looking good. So, and they haven't really said anything recently, so they're either going to come out with something massive, I think, or maybe they're potentially talking about settlement behind closed doors. But I don't really like speculating on that, because how many times have we been wrong? And me specifically, how many times have I been wrong with my thoughts on potential settlements? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen soon, because otherwise we're waiting on the judge's decision, which could come anywhere between obviously November the 15th and then obviously early next year, when it could go to trial in March, April, May time, if I'm right with my timeline. So we're probably looking at a settlement anywhere between now and then. Otherwise, the judge is going to make her decision, and that might not be so good for the SEC. Finally, Ripple have really stepped up their marketing campaign. Look at all these different places where they're marketing. London, in the World Trade Center in New York, and also in Wall Street. They were just some of the key ones, and on the halftime of the Lakers-Warriors game. Finally, Ripple's swell event, obviously 16th, 17th of November, which is now only 2 weeks away, in London. At the same time that obviously the new UK Prime Minister, who's crypto friendly, has pushed back his autumn statement to the 17th of November. Could there be something there? Just all seems to be conveniently timed with like the world on the brink of financial collapse, and huge campaigns coming from Ripple saying like crypto is business and all this sort of stuff. So let's see what happens there, and let's just quickly get into a few little things off the back of that. We saw, this was from Valhill Capital's, I think, Valhill Capital's Amicus brief. They basically said that the SEC at one point said that XRP wasn't a security. Anything that replaces a different currency is not a security, and that's essentially what XRP is. So he's arguing that point. With all these Amicus briefs, obviously it's a lot for the judge to read, and it probably delays her decision, but it gives us so much more information. So it probably makes the SEC more likely to settle potentially. And then we've got the XLS-20. This is blockchain backers, NFTs that he's going to release. I'm going to have a look at them when they come out. 11 hours from the time of this tweet. I'm going to leave this tweet open because I would like to check these out. And this was released at 9:22 a.m. my time, so it won't be until tonight for me. But he's recommending you look on XRP.com. There's obviously also Solargenic and XRPL coins, all the websites that I would check out if you're looking to mint some NFTs on the XRP ledger. Again, as I said, I am not affiliated with any of these, but I'm just going to show you how you can have a look at on XRP.com for XRP native NFTs. So we're on their Twitter right now. I'm just going to scroll down to where it says XPunks minting, and I'm going to literally just click on that. You're going to have to create your Zum wallet. XUMM is the wallet if you haven't got one already, and it shows you their minting page, and it shows you 5% total have been minted. 451 XPunks out of 10,000 currently have been minted on XRP from the XPunks collection. So that's exciting, and let's see what happens next, I guess. I'm going to leave that open as well because I'm going to have a little deep dive into that later. Next, we've got the Reserve Bank of India, who basically have come out with their pilot. They announced it maybe on the 30th of November. They did announce earlier in the year they would be launching their CBDC towards the end of the year. 30th of October, they said, oh, it's going to be out on the 1st of November. Boom, now it's live. With a little publication here from the Digital Pound Foundation if you want to go and check that out. So it starts on the 1st of November, as I said, and there's a little graphic here from LinkedIn talking about what's going on, the digital rupee with wholesale segment and 9 commercial banks. Basically, the banks are here if you want to check them out. 9 prominent banks. One that stands out to me because I've written about it before in a thread. I think I've got it open here, yes. So if you want to go and check this thread out, I'm going to get onto that in a second. Kotak Madeira, they're definitely a Ripple partner, and I think there's the State of India Bank have some affiliation, and they're the only two that like pop into my head to start with. Essentially, I've been talking about Ripple and India for a long time, and I think it's convenient timing that came out 10 hours ago, that tweet. Then 8 hours ago, Ripple said 90% of central banks exploring CBDs, DCs, up from 80% in 2021. This growth has potential to revolutionize current financial system. Our blog explains how, talking about CBDCs and then how crypto solutions are driving real business. But interesting that there's a CBDC tweet coming out from Ripple just as India tweet out about their CBDC, and this is what I wrote on the 12th of September about India's CBDC potentially being built on the XRP ledger. Definitely worth checking that out, guys, if you haven't read through that already. And finally, we just have a little look at the charts. I wanted to just cover XRP specifically. We'll probably get into this on more detail on the weekly roundup podcast coming out tomorrow, which we film tomorrow night. Comes out on Friday or Saturday. XRP looks to be just coiling up again in a range with decreasing volume, decreasing price action. The RSI is in a range ready with some potential run-up pumping area above it. We're kind of waiting to see what Bitcoin does. Sort of popped out of its range a little bit. It's consolidating underneath the 100-day moving average there. And just slightly on the top of the old range. It's not an awful position, but we would like to see some more volume. Pushes up and have a go at this 200-day moving average. The talk of the town is Doge, which is absolutely flying still. Doge is up 140% since its move, and I did tip it in the newsletter about 2 weeks ago, and I think you're 160-ish% up if you bought Doge since then. I didn't actually get any, to be completely transparent. I tipped Algorand and Doge in the same week. Should have gone 50-50 into both. Went quite heavily into Algorand because of the speculation with the World Cup, but should have known that Doge would pump with Elon buying Twitter. That is one of the main reasons I did tip it anyway. So if you did buy from the newsletter, congratulations on 140%. 160% in the last 2 weeks. And with all that being said, guys, this is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you need any more information, ask me in the comments. If you don't already sub, please do share it with a friend if you did enjoy or learn something. Peace up, A-Town down, as Usher would say.